Okay, in this video, we're going to talk about how much fat do I eat on a keto diet. That kind of seems like a strange question to ask, but the reality is you're not given a license to eat unlimited fat on keto, even though we want to make sure we get adequate fat. So let's look into it. So, eating fat is one of the most important parts of a keto diet. First, we need to know our macros. You want to eat less than 20 grams of carbs per day. Now, that's net carbs. So it's total carbs minus fiber. You also want to eat around a half a gram of protein per pound of body weight, and you can go down to around zero point 0.4, 0.45 grams of protein per pound of body weight. But too little protein can lead to muscle loss, which you don't want. However, if you get too much protein, your liver is going to make it into glucose, and that's going to raise your blood sugar. So, as an example, if you weigh 180 pounds, aim for about 75 to 90 grams of protein per day. For best results, you want to aim to integrate your fat and protein naturally, and by that I mean to get a fattier cut of meat. Now, you can, of course, eat lean meals, like not meals, but lean proteins like, say, scallops. But if you do that, you want to put lots of butter and maybe a cream sauce to get the macros right for your meal. But the best thing to do is to integrate your fat and protein in one items. So for steak, you don't want to eat sirloin. Choose ribeye, New York strip, T-bone, or porterhouse steaks. Don't trim the fat from the meat. Eat it. We've been conditioned through decades that fat is bad, so it's kind of hard for people to live with eating the fat on a steak and leaving it on. Same thing with poultry. Eat with the skin on after being told for decades to take the skin off. So you want to have skin on. Chicken thighs, wings are great, and chicken legs are okay. They're not as good as the other two, but they're still good. Definitely don't eat skinless chicken breast. If you eat chicken breast, be sure to get the skin on, but the thighs are a better choice than chicken breast. Duck is an excellent choice for poultry. Duck breast with skin is a perfect keto protein fat combination. They're pretty high fat and they taste really good. Now, turkey's not so good most of the time because you're not going to be cooking a whole turkey. Turkey breast is too lean. If you do eat turkey, turkey wings or legs is probably better. You want to make sure you get the skin on. Let's see, some other good keto meats. Choose fatty fish, salmon, sardines, and mackerel are really good examples. Full fat pork sausage and other fatty pork cuts, and of course, bacon and lamb is good too. Now, on a low budget, there's some options you can consider, like ground beef is an excellent keto food. Uh, and the good thing is that the higher the fat content, the cheaper the ground beef because they've incorporated that value of low fat food. But you want 80/20 at least. And you can usually find 73% in most grocery stores. That's even better. So the lower the percentage, the higher the fat, because that's percent protein. Hot dogs are a good cheap keto food without the bun, of course, and you also have to watch the carbs because some hot dog makers do put a little bit of carbohydrates. Surprising, very cheap, good keto food are Vienna sausages. Depending if you can stomach the taste. But they are very high fat. I think it's about an equal 1-to-1 ratio of protein and fat grams in Vienna sausages, and they're usually made out of pork or chicken. So, what are some ways to get more fat in your diet? One way is to eat a daily avocado. Now, a medium sized avocado has 29 grams of fat, and it's also got some other things you need on keto that help make up for the loss of carbohydrates. So, you get a lot of dietary fiber in avocados, uh, potassium and magnesium, and even some vitamin C. And avocados have very low net carbs. Let's see. You can add butter or cream to coffee, but be sure to count your protein grams with heavy cream because there is a little bit of protein left in the heavy cream. You can stir fry your veggies like spinach and broccoli and bacon grease, but you don't want to overdo your fat. Like protein, too little or too much fat can inhibit progress. So what happens is, a keto diet is not an unlimited license to consume unlimited amounts of fat, because fat has a lot of calories. And also, if you're consuming fat, you're not burning your own body fat. So, depending on your body size, you want to aim for 60 grams to 80 grams of fat per day. Now, to lose weight, you want to burn your own body fat. Now, eating too much fat inhibits this, but also remember that if you're not getting enough fat, you're not going to go into ketosis. So, there's a balance. So, one thing you do not want to do is consume exogenous ketones because that inhibits burning your own body fat. And you also want to watch fatty snacks. Some people think because they're eating pork rinds, well, they can eat the whole bag. Well, that's not true. So you want to consume it in moderation so you're not getting too many calories. You don't have to count your calories, but just use some common sense and, eat when you're hungry. So eating pork rinds or nuts can add excess fat and protein. Also remember that pork rinds do contain protein too. Okay, so let's summarize. So you want to eat less than 20 grams of net carbs per day. Now let's look at a couple of examples. So if you're 180 pounds, you want to eat about 80 to 90 grams of protein and around 70 to 75 grams of fat per day. So that will kind of ensure that you get enough fat that you go into ketosis, but you're not getting too much that you're eating too many calories. So for another example, 140 pounds, you would eat a little bit less protein, so about 60 to 70 grams, and a little bit less fat, so around 55 to 60 grams of fat per day. So, be sure to count your avocado in there. If you're eating a decent sized avocado and that's 30 grams of fat, then you got to watch it for your other items and that you consume during the day. So hopefully this video helps people out that are wondering about how much fat to eat on a keto diet and where to get it. And just don't eat too much and don't eat too little. Same rule as for protein.